We have a special guest here at the Shakedown in E-Town, and Mike, actually, you are the Grand Marshal here. What's that like?
Oh, it's just great. You know, to come back to this track and this race, to see all these Pro Mod guys here and all my old friends. Well, first of all, this is my home track, and, you know, I get that kind of sentimental feeling every time I come back here. And then to come back here and see all my old friends, you know, as much as I've grown in the sport, they've grown so much within the sport, too. All of them have, like, these beautiful cars and these great operations, and you know, it's just so nice to come here and be able to watch, and I'm honored that they chose me to be the Grand Marshal. And on top of all of that, I get to have a day off of racing and be able to watch and have a good time.
That's right. Well, even when you do get a day off of racing, you're out here with racing, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, you know, get a day off, but not a day off. I guess a day off of driving, not a day off of racing.
Exactly. Well, this is the no pressure situation. So, but I know that you started out here as, I think you started out with a Pro Mod nitrous Chevy. Is that right?
You know, it's interesting. You know, Susan, I started off here in the late 80s, actually with like an 11-second Camaro. And then, like, you know, but people most remember me for a nitrous Trans Am that I came here, nobody really knew me, and out of the blue, the fastest run ever at that point was 202 miles an hour, and I went 211, set that world record, and then from then on, everybody knew me. I mean, it's funny, I remember Brett Kepner. He was saying that, you know, the night before, the only people that stopped by my trailer were people to ask directions to the bathroom. And now there's a line for autographs by my trailer the next day. And that's really where I got my start. You know, that night was that day was a big day for me. So.
And that speed record was the track record for several years, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really did. You know, it lasted a long time. I think it was like for 3 or 4 years. And then I broke my own record, went 216 with a dog car. And then that was it. Then after that, I took a whole bunch of time off and came back, and it was already that record was history.
And you know what? Speaking of history, you've had a great history this year already, and you got 2 more races to go in the NHRA circuit. But you know, you made that countdown to 8, and that's quite a coup.
Yeah, you know what? I thought Susan, that was pretty good. You know, starting off this year, owning the team for myself for the first time, and you know, competing against John Force and all these guys, and those guys are great. You know, and to be able to just mix it up with them, make the top 8, you know, win Indy, you know, especially for the cause that we were racing for, and then to get, you know, as far as we did, it was kind of disappointing not to make it into the countdown to 1. But I guess right now we'll compete for 5th place, and, you know, we'll start all over again next year.
We had a lot of good company who didn't make it as well. So.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. That's true.
That's right. Now you got the Barrett-Jackson Auto Auction coming up in Phoenix. And for those of you who missed it at Indianapolis, Mike is our U.S. Nationals winner in the funny car field. And you have a special car body that's going to be auctioned off at that Barrett-Jackson Auto Auction. Can you tell us a little bit more about that for those who missed it?
Yeah, that was great winning that race. And the real reason why it was great was not only because it was Indy, but because I was racing for the Eric Blake Faulkner Foundation, which is a foundation that is there to support parents who give birth to stillborn children, which is really a rough thing. And we wanted to raise money and awareness for that for Donnie and Holly Faulkner, because that happened to them. So my sponsor, Evan Noel from Torco Race Fuels, he called me up and said we need to do something for these people. So we did this tribute car, and imagine that we went out, won that race, and now that car is going to be auctioned off at the Barrett-Jackson auction, and all the proceeds from that they're going to go to that foundation, which is going to go to help this wonderful cause. So, I mean, winning Indy was big, but doing that was like, you know, like extra special.
And what a high-profile, you know, opportunity for them. And now you're going to get to relive that again. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is kind of cool. You know, it really is. You know, when I think about it, I think about Indy, and you know, I'm happy to be wearing my Indy winners jacket here. You know. And it's great, but, you know, like that was just like the topping on it all. You know, to do it for that cause, it was just, you know, you could see that God just kind of put the stars and the moons, everything aligned together and put us in that position, so it was pretty good.
And it was a good-looking car, too.
It was pretty cool. Chip Foose designed it, so, you know it's got to be good-looking. So
that's right. We love Chip, and you know, we're so glad that you're here, and thank you for taking the time out to talk to us at 1320 TV.
Well, I appreciate that. You know, Susan, I started this thing with you a while back. I was there when you first started it, and you've come such a long way, and site, you know, I check it out all the time. It's really good. You guys do great interviews, and I don't know how you manage to do all the coverage the way you guys do with all the races. You have a worse schedule than me, but I'm really proud of you for as much as you guys have done also, and just keep it going, and I'm sure that a few years from now it'll be like the biggest TV site on the internet.
Oh, thank you for saying that. You know, and we've had a lot of help from Brian Wood behind the camera. He does an awful lot of work.
He does great interviews. You know, you got a lot of guys, you know, that are really dedicated to the site and to the sport, so that's really what makes it special. You seem to be on the site. You always seem to be on the scenes covering all like the hot topics, which is pretty cool.
We try to keep up with what's going on, but it's, you know, it's really hard because there's always something going on. But, you know, the guy who's really come a long way is Dave Hance here, I think.
Oh, yeah, Dave Hance has done a remarkable job. You know, I should definitely mention him. This shakedown and E-Town deal here, you come here, I mean, the stands are packed. You got so many quality cars. I mean, you know, the guy's so creative. I got to take my hat off to him. He's done a great job.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of help with Michelle Marchese and a whole staff of people here to help him pull this off, to come from 6 cars to, what is it, more than 100, 125 today?
They've done a remarkable job. You know, Michelle, I mean, I can't say enough about her as a person, and she's like kind of an inspiration for me. You know, no matter whether I do good or bad, she always sends me an email. She's wonderful, and the Knaps are terrific people. And Dave Hance, I mean, he's the ultimate promoter. I mean, he's like a sponsor's dream. I'm surprised he doesn't have a bigger sponsor already. The guy's just great.
You know, I would love to be more like them in all their success and their organizational abilities, but I'm not sure I'd want to be exactly like them, because I don't think they sleep any.
No, you're right. They're running around like a chicken without a head, and then he's got to jump in the car and race. I see Michelle, she's got a walkie-talkie. She's got a phone. I can't tell what she's talking to. She's trying to keep everything organized, but you know, she's running around like a chicken without a head. But on the inside, but on the outside, it's like everything runs so smooth. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, I know. It's when we were in the trophy room with her last night, and she had people at the window. She had people on the phone. She had people on another phone. She was talking to us. I don't know how she keeps it all straight.
It is amazing that she's able to do that. But you know, most successful people are able to multitask like that. I think most successful people are like us. You know, we all have ADD. We're just busy doing a million things at one time, trying to keep it all together. And it's fun to watch her do it. But she's done a great job, and she's a great person on top of it.
She's awesome. She's one of the most interesting people I've ever met in my whole life. And first time I talked to her we had a 5-hour conversation. I never met her before, and it was a 5-hour conversation. It was like I felt I'd known her for 100 years.
Yeah, she's that kind of person, you know what I mean? Because she's the kind of person that's always interested in what you're doing, you know, and it's hard to find people like that in this world, and she's like a very selfless, you know, terrific person. So I'm happy to know her, and I'm happy that she included me in this deal. And
it's so, yeah, exactly, that's exactly what makes this shakedown exciting, is the people, you know.
I agree. Walking up and down, seeing all my old buddies, just, you know, it's like I don't want to leave. You know, it's a lot of fun, you know.
Well, you don't have to. You can stay. Why don't you come back and race in this thing next time?
You know, you never know. Don't be careful what you wish for. You never know what can happen.
You got a lot of IHRA guys and a lot of the Pro Street guys. Yeah, guys you've mixed it up with, I'm sure, along the way. Maybe it'd be kind of fun to do that again, huh?
I wouldn't count Mike Ashley out of Pro Mod. That I'll tell you right now.
There you go. Well, you heard it here first on 1320 TV. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, Susan. Thanks. Take care.